What do you watch? How I mentor? Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, hey, mentees. It's me, your favorite mentor, Tiffany. How are you? Come into the room, the mentee room. I got my curls popping just for you. Look at this. This is as a result of a little pipe cleaner, like Rod said. Okay. I have been gone for the whole month of February. I try to take a full month off once a quarter to reset. And but I had to make sure that you guys got your session this month. And this session is all about Q&A. So I am going to take your questions and answer them. So already start typing them in the comments. What I'm going to do is, so that way, if you ever want to watch the replay, what I'm going to do is I am going to timestamp your question. So that way later, and I'm literally taking notes. So that way later, when you watch it, you can jump to the question that's most pertinent to you. So we are just doing a Q&A. You can ask any question that you want about business, about, growth, scale, funding, financing. If it's not an answer that I know, I promise you, I know somebody who knows the answer. So go ahead and put your questions in the chat so I can answer. Oh, y'all so cute. You're like, love the hair. Yes, looking good, Tiff. Thank you. But yeah, go ahead. Let me see. I know somebody had a question from before in our chat. Let me see while you guys get your questions, while you guys get your questions together. Because we're going to be here for about an hour, give or take. I actually have IG going. They're watching, so be on your best behavior. If you are a mentee already, a paying mentee, and you're on IG, why are you on IG? Get on over here. We're in the room right now. Let me see. Some people ask some questions in the comment. Okay. She should try again. Okay. So Michelle asked, okay. We have some questions. Good. These are good. Okay. Natalie, you asked your question first. Let me, you know what? I forgot. I said timestamp. Y'all already know. Don't let me forget that when we move on to a new question, that I should timestamp. 00 is just welcome. Welcome. And then at this time, what is the time? It is 2:30. The 2:30 mark. We're answering Natalie's question. And her question is, looking for this Q&A. Can you discuss how you developed your framework for your academy? I sure can. So for those of you who know, I have an online school called the Live Richer Academy. We have graduated about 150,000 students in the 8 years that the academy has been running, which is tremendous. And so in the beginning, I wasn't really sure what the framework was going to be for the academy, which is very common when you're selling like courses or classes. So the initial framework for the academy was, I said, I want to kind of have like a Netflix, if you will, right? I want to have like all of these classes that you can kind of take. Cause I think I had done like a survey and people were like, I just want to have kind of like a hodgepodge of classes that you can take, and you could take the classes whenever you wanted. And I thought there's like 3 components to an online school back then, which these 3 were needed. You need to have some autonomous, like I can do this on my own. That was one. This is like I said 8 years ago. This is not true now, but I want you to understand after research, this is what we found. People needed, I could do it on my own component to an online class or course or school. One, they needed a live lesson component. Actually, let me say that that's not true, but this is what it was back then. 2, and then the third thing they needed was community. That like they needed to be able to like not just interact with the instructors, but with each other. So pre-recorded, live, community. And so that was the initial framework. After doing all this research, sitting in on other people's online schools, we said, okay, here's the framework. We have, 50 different classes that you can choose from. That was the pre-recorded stuff. Then in the beginning, we used to do a live every single Sunday. For those of you OGs, every Sunday it was me. Ooh, child, it was taxing. It didn't matter rain, snow, sleet, or hail, honey. I was there on Sunday teaching a class. That was the live session, live component. And then we used to use the Facebook group as a community. So you guys, the mentees, not the mentees, we call them dream builders. The dream builders can kind of interact with each other. Those were the 3 components of like the framework for my online school. Now, the thing is that things have shifted, and people, this is before, nobody was really doing online schools like the way they are now. And so people were selling one-off courses and things like that. And so as consumer habits have shifted, we've had to shift because we realized that people, although they said they wanted to go in and pick whatever class they wanted, that's what they said with their mouth, but that's not what they meant with their, oh wait, hold on. I gotta say bye-bye to our IG people. You're getting a lot of stuff for free. I'm about to head out. Okay. So mentees, real quick. I am talking to our IG. So this is what it looks like to be a mentee. Once a month, I teach a class. This month, the class is a Q&A. I'm answering questions. If you want to join, go to mymentortiffany.com or just type mentor below and I'll send you the link via your DM. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. It's like I'm just joking. All right. All right. Mentees. I was getting some new mentees on over here with us. Okay. So those were the three components, and those components are still relatively oh, can you guys hear me? I just realized that. Those components were still relatively, they are still components that you can lean into today. Something that people can do on their own, some sort of live component, some sort of community component, but you can kind of chop those things up. Then we realized that having just kind of like willy-nilly, kind of like Skillshare-esque type of connection, like, or people to choose classes, like people they wanted paths. So we realized you guys wanted like success paths. So like a couple of years in, we started these like kind of like success paths that, to help you, like, hey, are just starting out in your financial journey? Are you a little more advanced? Are you even more advanced? We had like 3 success paths to kind of help people like figure out what classes they should take, because people were really confused by that. And now we're realizing that people want to even more simplified than that. So we've now shifted that we have one core success path. It's based upon my best-selling book, Get Good with Money. This is 10 simple steps to becoming financially whole. And it's basically the 10 steps and get good with money. That is the success path. We still have, we're bringing back even more live sessions, and we still have the community. So just as you are building whatever kind of like online course, or I want you to just keep in mind, like, do you have something that people can do on their own? People do like some sort of live component. Certainly weekly was too much. I did not know that. Monthly is enough, maybe bi-weekly, and then 2, do you have a way for the community to connect, even if it's just lightly? Because even here with the mentorship, right? That's what we do, right? So if you're coming later, the good news is that you can watch all of our pre-recorded mentor sessions, right? That's 1. And then 2, if we have these live sessions. We have a live component just once a month with me, because I realize that sometimes it can be overwhelming. And then you have live sessions with each other. And then you have the community aspect, because you guys do networking monthly. You get to, even when I meet up with you guys, I have, what was I the last? Well, I just met up with Boston. No, even after Boston. I met up with y'all in Boston, and someplace else I had dinner with y'all more recently. So, I have these mentee dinners. It was Boston, and it was someplace else. Was that DC? Town? I don't remember. My memory's the worst. Anyway. So these are the components, even in the mentorship, right? It's the same component. Something that people could do on their own, something that they could do live and interact, and then something that they could do like somewhere to connect with the community. So, all right, so that's question 1. Keep asking your questions. Okay, so this is a good one. This is LaRonda. Let me see if I can. How do I'm trying to. My bad. I'm gonna try to grab LaRonda. Okay, there it is. I wanted to grab your question. I want to copy and paste it. Copy. And what time is it? It is at the 9:20 mark. LaRonda asked this question. So like I said, I'm doing this because I am wanting to, I want to make sure that, when you rewatch this, you're not having to dig around and be like, oh, I don't want to watch the whole thing in order to get my questions answered, so that's really important to me. That's none. I just want to make sure this is okay. So LaRonda said, do I need to get an EIN number now, even before I earn $1? Second part, should I have an S Corp or register for an LLC? So 1, LaRonda, Do you need an EIN before you earn $1? No, but it is a good idea too, right? Because people kind of do like side little businesses. So if you feel like you're pretty serious about starting a business, then an EIN basically is a social security number for your business. So do you have one? No, most people are sloppy and don't get one. But you want to start to like, especially if you're serious about starting a business, an EIN, because it's with an EIN that you're going to open up a business bank account. Because one of the worst things you can do in business, even though we've all done it, is to commingle your business funds and your personal funds. I mean, I don't know a person in the beginning who didn't do it, but it's not ideal. You know what I mean? And so I want you to like, yes, go ahead, get an EIN. And then it'll allow you to open up a checking and a savings account under your business, because you really want business money to be separate from your personal money, because people start paying you. And then when it's time to do taxes, it's such a mess. It's not cute, So, and then should you be an S Corp or an LLC, child, go ahead on and open you up an LLC, right? Here's why, like you could be an LLC that is an S Corp. A corporation right off the bat, like, girl, are you Facebook? An LLC is a pass-through entity. So what does that mean? It means that when you get taxed as an LLC, like the Budgetnista, for example, is an LLC. Literature Academy is an LLC. So, and it's an LLC, but they're both S Corps. That means when money is made, any money that my company doesn't spend ends up on my personal tax returns. That's what LLCs basically means, that it's the type of way that we're taxed. Now, I had considered turning my company to like a C Corp. That's like Amazon, Facebook. They're all C Corps, right? Corporations. But honestly, unless you're huge, like it doesn't make sense. Like go ahead with an LLC. Or if you are really starting out, LaRonda, consider starting out just being self-employed. Meaning like you don't have to register as an LLC. You could just be a sole proprietor. There's nothing wrong with starting off there, because typically once you start to make maybe about like, this is what my accountant told me, once I started to make like 6 figures, to go from self-employed to an LLC, because the taxes, that there was a tax benefit. So if you're going to have a business, you're going to want to definitely have an accountant, because they will help you to decide, hey, based upon what you made, you would save in taxes if you were an LLC, or based on how much you made, stay self-employed, because there's self-employment tax. But if you're not making much money, then you won't really get taxed much. And you could be a sole proprietorship. So sole proprietorship, or partnership, then LLC once you start to make a little bit of money, and then potentially being an S Corp, that's an LLC. So, and then a C Corp if you Mark Zuckerberg. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Let me see some more. You guys have some good questions. Let me see. I saw someone. And here's the thing, like if I don't answer your question, I'm going to try my best. I saw a question from Imani that was good. Imani. Okay, there it was. Imani. Copy. What time is it? Imani's question is getting answered at the 13:10 mark. So like the good thing is that this video will be available for you to watch later, and you'll be able to see like, oh, at this point, Tiffany answered the question. You see how I treat y'all? So good. I do that because I know that, like, you might not, like I said, you might not want to watch the whole thing in order to get your question, in order to see whatever question. This is my lemon water. Okay. How did you book? This is Imani. How did you book your first speaking engagement? How would you recommend consistently finding opportunities? Great question, Imani. I booked my first speaking engagement because I was speaking for FREE. What you know about me? I was practicing. I told everybody, my church, my family, my friends, hey, I teach financial education, and I did it for free for a full year. I'm not saying you have to do it for free. I'm not saying you have to do it for a full year, but quite honestly, I wanted to practice. I wasn't sure if I was any good, because remember, before the Budgetnista, I taught preschool. So I wasn't sure if I could stand up in front of people and really rock it. I said, well, let me practice. And if I suck, you got what you paid for, nothing. So in the beginning, to me, I used to always say, payment sometimes, compensation always. What does that mean? Sometimes you are compensated through payment, financial payment, and sometimes you are compensated by like opportunity, by being able to say, this is my client, and posting on your social, by being able to practice. So literally, I would do a speaking engagement, and then afterwards, I had like a little notebook where I would kind of like write down notes for myself. This went well, this didn't go good, nobody understood this part. You need to have like, the PowerPoint wasn't working, whatever it is. I started to really write down notes so I could get better. Right. So in the beginning, I was just speaking for free. And the way that I was able to consistently get more people to book me free and paid is that whenever I booked a speaking engagement. So two things. When you're there, try your best to see if you can collect emails. Okay. So one of the best ways to collect emails is if you create like a PowerPoint for your speaking engagement and you say, if you'd like this PowerPoint, I'm pretending you're teaching people how to like, I don't know, start their own business, right? If you'd like a copy of this PowerPoint, email me, Imani at get a copy of the PowerPoint.com. You see what I mean? So it allows you to start collecting emails potentially. So those are people that you could potentially pitch to yourself later to speak. So I wish I knew that earlier, that to collect emails as quickly as possible. So one, speak, see if you can collect emails. Ask first, because some places won't let you do that, but some places will. They won't let you upsell, but they'll let you collect emails. Right. Second, another way I would start to get booked. So those people you would email, hey, it was so great to talk to all y'all today. If, I love doing this. And you might send them like a speaker sheet. You create like a speaker, like, hi, my name's Imani and I speak on these topics, whatever. And you might send the PowerPoint and that speaker sheet to say, if you have any organizations, whatever, I'm available to speak. Those people just heard you. They feel good about you. Those people, although you might be like, well, I already spoke at their job. Yeah, but they go to churches. They're part of sororities. They're part of community organizations. Now they have basically like your mini resume that they can say, I just heard this girl, Imani, she was amazing. We should hire her. That's one. Two, I use social media heavily. So write this down. I forgot. Do y'all have your notebooks? Some of you are not serious about life. These days, your girl be so thirsty. Right? There's a site called Wufoo. WUFOO. Write it down. Wufoo.com. All right. WUFOO. And so Wufoo, I don't know if they still do this, but they used to be able to get up to 100. You used to be able to get up to 100. Like, Wufoo is basically like a form site. You ever go to a form and it says like, you might go to the Budgetnista contact me. It says, what's your name box? What's your email box? What do you comment box? Like you can create that in Wufoo, and you're able to embed that into your site. Let's just say you don't even have a site. You could just go on to GoDaddy, go by ImaniSpeaks.com, and someone goes to ImaniSpeaks.com and you have it forwarded to your Wufoo contact form. You see? So that way, whenever you post on social media, so let's just say you spoke for free at your local church. People don't have to know you spoke for free. You ask your church, sure, I'll speak for free. Am I allowed to post you on social media and say my client? Church says yes. Compensation always, payment sometimes. So now you're at the church and you take a picture, video, all that stuff all day long. You're like, you see me out here speaking, Imani speaks. This is me in Egypt. Imani speaks. You're posting on social media. If you would like me to speak at your church or wherever you are, then go to ImaniSpeaks.com and it's a contact form from Wufoo, which is free up to, well, it was, I don't know if it still is, up to 100 people can hit you in that contact form before you have to pay any money. But do you see is that you get like, it takes money to make money, meaning like it takes speaking engagements to get speaking engagements. So one, people are in the room, you rocked it. Let those people hire you for other things by getting their email. Two, post on social and people are like, well, Imani obviously must be dope. She's already speaking. I'm going to go to ImaniSpeaks.com. Oh, there's a contact form. You see what I mean? Make it super easy. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So let's see what other questions you guys have. All right. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So this is a good question from Dina. Oh, Dina, wait, hold on. This thing's like not wanting to. I'm trying to copy your question because I have the copy Mentee sheet. Okay, what time is it? Timestamp. It is 19:40. 19 minutes and 40 seconds in. Dina asked a good question. So Dina asked this question. She said, hey girl, Suggestions on how to get into school systems around financial literacy, already working with nonprofits. So, Dina, one of the ways to get into school systems, this is what we do here at the Budgetista too, is you have to see if the school system has put out something called an RFP, which is a request for proposal, right? Meaning the school, typically schools have to, by law or whatever, kind of say, hey, we're looking for, like they'll have like a platform. I'm talking whether it's colleges, whether it's middle schools, high schools, they usually will have some sort of like platform that you can log into to see like, hey, are there any requests? But low key, high key, one of the best ways to even know that that's available is you have to start to build relationships. Okay, build relationships. And so what does that mean? Meaning like, like, do you like ask your do you know teachers in the school, principals, vice principals, the superintendent, vice superintendent, whomever, to start asking like, hey, who is doing your financial education? Are there opportunities for us to be able to participate? Like, so for example, like if you're talking about schools like colleges, the first college I was able to get some financial stuff in was my alma mater, Montclair State University in New Jersey, because I was like, oh, I already have relationships there. So I started to do a whole bunch of stuff with them. And so it's not just like, oh, like I applied for some whatever online. Like you build relationships, and those people will tell you, oh, girl, we have a grant coming up. Make sure you apply for it. Make sure you submit it in time or whatever. Does that make sense? And so I would start with relationships, ask them what platform that they upload those opportunities to. But those relationships are what are working on, because when they see your stuff come through, they're like, oh, that's why I love Dina. She's great, you know? And so, like, yeah, so leaning into building relationships and asking, how does someone get into this school? What does that look like? And then following through with that. Okay. Okay. Next question. Okay. Mm, 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 mm. Let's see. Okay, so this question is from Sarah. Sarah. All right, Sarah. What time is it? Okay, I'm gonna do a timestamp for. I posted that formatting. There you go. Okay, timestamp for Sarah is 22:35. 22:35. Sarah says, I'm new to owning my biz, and though I'm meeting my income goals, good job, Sarah, I'm doing terrible at budgeting. I used to be great at it, but I'm really struggling. Can you help me sort it out from a business lens? Yes. Okay. One thing, Sarah. So, one of the most important components to business, it's the most important, like money. I don't care how delicious your cookie is. I don't care how amazing your coaching is. I don't care how great your book is. Money is the lifeblood of your business. If it is not flowing correctly, nothing else matters. There's going to be somebody who has a way crappier business who is slaying because they've got their money situation together. If I could only hire one person for my business, it would be a financial person. Sarah, you don't have to figure it all out. Sarah, get you a bookkeeper, usually a few $100 a month, especially since your business is doing pretty decent, right? And an accountant. Have that way you can sit with them like money in, money out. They will help to organize your business budget, profit and loss statement. Like, what does it look like if I want to take an owner's draw? You get yourself a bookkeeper is for day-to-day business management to help you budget. And then your accountant is going to make sure, obviously, your taxes and stuff, you typically meet like quarterly. And so don't do that alone. I remember it's same because Sarah, I'm the budgetista. I was good at it. And I thought, oh, I'll just manage the finances of the business. Business finances are different. Business finances are different in this way. As a person, I want to save as much as possible. As a business, you don't. As business, you want to spend as much as possible on the business. Did you hear what I said? As a person, I want to save as much as possible. Why? Why do I want to save as much as possible? Because it's like, oh, I get more money in the bank. Shorty, what you think? But as a person, as a business, it's the opposite. If I save, let's just say, like, woohoo, I saved $2 million. The government's like, woohoo, taxes. You're like, wait, what? So if you save so much in your business, 30-40% of that money you save 2 million. They're like, yeah, about 700,000 is for us. No, I much rather use that 700,000 and hire someone, purchase something for the business, get a business car for myself, a business, a building, something. And so it's a different way of thinking when it comes to business. So having someone help you is going to be critical. Okay? Okay. All right. Ask your questions. Oh, you're welcome. Good. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, so Sable, first of all, great name. Sable, we're loving your name. Copy. I am copying your question and putting it into our document. And then I'm going to timestamp. Okay, and what is the time? It is 25:45. 25:45, Sable's question. 25:45. Okay, Sable says, evening. I posted in Patreon. I'll post it here. Wait, I have a travel/social community with 100 members. We're looking for revenue streams. We're considering merchandise. You said we're considering merchandise and merchandise? I don't know what you mean by merchandise and merchandise, but anyway, what else? Okay. So, how do you monetize a community? There are a number of things. Yes, merch is definitely one of them, right? Hold on. Merch is definitely one of them, you know, that you can monetize your community. Also, events. So, you have a travel community, maybe you host a trip, and the trip costs you 1,500 and you charge 2,000 for the people in your community. So, events. So it does that. This is not, you don't have to be a travel. This is just in general. If you have a community, this is how to monetize a community. But Sable asked because she has a travel community. Events. Also, you can monetize their presence, meaning you have 100 people that specifically like to travel. You start to reach out to brands and say, I have, these 100 people that are coming to Dallas to talk about travel. Would you like to sponsor our chat, our meetup? So get those things sponsored. So sponsorship is one. So merch, events, sponsorship, and what else? I'm trying to think what are ways to be you could also teach a thing like online course or class or even just access to the community. So maybe, yeah, my shirt is definitely backwards. I was like, why is this neck so high? I'm looking at the line. I'm like, child, either way. So you can have let's just say you have the right now the 100 people community is free, but you have a VIP version of it where I don't know what they get, child. They might get one-on-one time. I don't know, but you charge $20 a month, hence like our Patreon, right? And so you can charge memberships. So, okay. So membership. Okay, yeah. Oh, you said merchandise. Okay. Merchandise, membership, what did I say? Sponsorship, events, education, online courses. You could do one-off courses for travel, or you can have a subscription, for whatever it is. I don't know, like what you'd be selling, to teach people how to do something, how to hack travel. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Is that helpful, Sable? That's a lot of ways. You can make those are the ways that we monetize our communities over here and make seven figures, multiple seven figures. So, okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, where was the question? It was a good question too. Hello, dear. Oh, where was it? It was a question about So let me see. Okay, so let's answer Cynthia. Because I can't find the question that I wanted to answer. But that's okay, Cynthia, because this is a good question too. I'm trying to get a good mix of questions because some of you guys are asking similar S questions. So all right, so Cynthia, your question, you asked it, and that's at the 29:35 mark. 29:35. Okay. Cynthia says, how should I begin a conversation with small businesses that are interested in selling my products? Okay. So if they're interested, I'm assuming they've started the conversation. So, one, before you even start the conversation, I want you to create a criteria checklist of Cynthia, who is the ideal person or ideal entity? Let's just say, like, so for example, my friend Dawn has these products, like natural care products called Puka. And so, and Puka, Dawn has MS and she created Puka because she said your organ is the largest organ, the skin is the largest organ on your body. And she realized that if she wanted to be healthy, she had to put healthy stuff on her skin. True. We all know this, right? So smart. So she made these really beautiful, great smelling products that everybody loves. And so before you just put it into any place, get clear on who is the avatar, meaning who is the perfect place like that could sell your thing. Meaning, like, let's just say I'm just making it up. They're based in Atlanta. They have a certain amount of traffic. um I don't know, they're a woman-owned business. I'm just making stuff up. So create your own internal checklist, so that way before you even reach out to someone, you're like, well, they don't even check my checklist. But you can reach out via email, social, whatever, and say, hey, I really love your business. Hi, my name is Cynthia. I really love your business. I have this product that sells really well, blah blah blah. You have to hit people with the, right away, like how whatever good thing that your product has managed to do, talk about that. Would love to talk about having it in your salon, because I noticed that your salon. So how are you going to help them? So you have to understand that nobody cares about helping you. How you're going to help them? Like, I don't. I'm assuming maybe you have it in other places already. These three businesses that have housed my product see an average of an additional $2,000 a month that they earn. Do you see how all of a sudden I'm like, hold up now? What'd you say now? What'd you say? Even if that is so, let's just say that's not true. It's not inside of the salon yet, but you can still guesstimate. You can say, like, whenever I do pop-ups or whatever it is, typically the product sells for about this much. Um, we could talk about some sort of profit share. And I estimate with a salon your size, we might be able to get you anywhere from 500 to extra $1,000 a month. So you want to make it like, it has to be like, there has to be what's in it for me. And you want to state it to them. And so that's what it would look like. Like, and then you just, you would navigate through, what does it look like to have that joint venture? So you want to map out the plan. You want to have a legal contract signed, right? Like you want to map out, okay, how many products are you gonna like house in your salon? I'm just making it up. That's in the salon. And what percentage do they get? And do you take the products back if they don't sell? Like, is it on consignment? So you want to make up those rules already. You know what I mean? Um, and I'm just trying to think. And honestly, with each person that you partner with, you're going to learn, and then you update the contract and update the rules for the next one. So start with one or two, see how it goes. You start with one or two, especially build those. That's why relationships are key. Build those relationships, because then, Cynthia, you can start reaching out to other spas. I see it's a spa, and say, hey, we're already in such and such spa, and it's making them additional $5,000 a month. This could be you. So you build relationships, get really cool with one or two spas, do the damn thing with them, and then take that, look what we did here, and then that's when you start to hit up the other places. This is what we could do for you. Okay? Okay. All right. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Good question. Oh, well, Sarah answered a question from you already. So let me see if we can get somebody else. Okay. CS. Not to say I won't answer double questions, but like I just want to make sure we get CS. Some people who have not asked the question. All right. CS asked the question at the 3410 mark. 3410. Okay. CS says, how can you show value for a new service that you want to offer to a business like a college or university when you're just starting out? Honestly, C4, use your socials, girl or guy, right? So lately you will see, like yesterday I went to the Facebook and they had me speak there. And I don't know, lately I haven't really been feeling like posting, but I said, Tiffany, you have to post it. You want to know why? Because it's not for y'all. I'm not trying to flex for y'all. I'm trying to make sure these brands, these businesses that are even remotely interested in me, when they see that, they're like, oh, if Facebook has Tiffany do it, she must be somebody. You see what I mean? Like whenever social media is a really great tool. Think of social media as a living resume. So one, you can start by volunteering your services for like nonprofit organizations, religious organizations. And then while you're there, recording yourself, get clips, post those on social, posting your video, posting stories, speaking here today, doing that today. You know what I mean? Like, so speak for low cost or free to build up your kind of like digital resume, and you're continuously posting. So that way, when you say to someone, you start to reach out, say, hey, I'd love to, to speak at your school or whatever, they're going to go look at your social media. Like I made sure that the fact I did this whole post about spoke at Facebook or Meta for International Women's Day was so great. Yeah. I made sure to post it on LinkedIn. Why? That's where the brands be. I'm gonna get hit up. Why? I already know. Every time I post something professional like that, like I did something big like that, someone slides into my DMs on LinkedIn. They're like, I saw what you did. Would love for you to come to my organization. I bet. Because what happens is you teach people how to treat you. Tiffany speaks at mega corporations. I do. Let's bring her here because it's called social proof, right? That is how we make decisions. It's like, if you're like, oh, Tiffany, I love your hair, girl. You know what? You're going to ask me how I use pipe cleaners. You know what you're going to ask me? What kind of pipe cleaner? Where you get them from? It's just a pipe cleaner. No, which ones did you use? Why? Because it helps us make easy decisions by saying, I don't want to have to decide all those choices. If pipe cleaners did that to your hair, I want those exact ones. Does that make sense? People like to see, what did you use? What did you do already? And so people said, if Meta has Tiffany come speak, they've already vetted her. So then a bigger corporation or big corporation is like, I don't got to do the vetting. They did it already. Tiffany's the pipe cleaner. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's how you do it. Is that one, you're going to have to like low cost or no cost your way. And then you're going to have to like get as much behind the scenes, record yourself and post and share those things. Then, and I see something that my friend did that, which I thought was kind of genius. If you have some of like your favorite places that you really want to speak, start quarterly, like rounding up the places that you spoke and start emailing the heads of those companies. Hey, it's me. You might not know me, but I just wanted to share that like I love speaking about health and would love to speak at your organization. Just this last quarter, I spoke here, and here. And you send that email out every quarter, almost like a little newsletter to places where you want to speak so that you could be top of mind. Like, well, dang. Because maybe they didn't see your social proof on social media, but you slide into the inbox and they've seen it there. Okay? Okay. Next on the docket. Okay. Are you guys finding this helpful? Okay. All right. So, Kadi, I'm scrolling up. Good question. Copy. Oh, Akeisha, you shared some questions. Where you share the questions, Akeisha? Just post it here in the chat, girl, because this is where I'm looking at them. If you're still here. All right. So let me put here Kadi's question. Pace. What time is it? It is 38:20 at the 38:20 mark. Kadi says, I'm still getting set up, but how do I get these taxes together? Girl. One word, 3 syllables, accountant. Girl, don't do this by yourself. Let me tell you something. I messed up my taxes so bad trying to do all the things myself. It has cost me so much money. And I tell this to everyone, all my mentees, from the rip, get yourself an accountant. I think someone had asked, like, on average, what are you thinking about what an accountant should cost you? Probably maybe around $1,000, give or take, like for the size, if you're a smaller business. For my real small business, I'm paying $600 for my Brown Ambition. And then I don't know how much we pay for the Budgetnista, more than that. So you're looking around that $1,000-ish range for an accountant to do your taxes, annually. But get yourself an accountant. Talking about how do you handle these taxes, not by yourself. That's for daggone sure. That's why I said, you get yourself because here's the thing. It gets to be so overwhelming because it's not the same accountant the way you do your personal taxes. It took me a while to learn that it's like, I can't just bring my shoebox. So instead, having a bookkeeper, like the bookkeeper is that day-to-day person that gets your stuff together month after month. And then when it's time for taxes, they translate all your shenanigans, financial shenanigans, into accountant speak, and they give it to the accountant. So the accountant doesn't have to be like, what is all this? Does that make sense? That's why, to me, a bookkeeper is critical. Someone said here they paid the bookkeeper $200 a month. Exactly. Bookkeepers are not tremendously expensive in comparison to like the value that they bring to the table. A few $100 a month to go through all your finances, to make sure every month you have your monthly reports, all that kind of stuff. So when it's time for you to meet with the accountant every quarter, you're like, here is the stuff. The bookkeeper knows how to put it in a way that the accountant, needs to see it. And so that's how you get your taxes together. Do not do it by yourself, Let me see. Okay. Let me see. Additional questions. Okay, I'm trying to scroll up for some of the earlier questions in case you feel like I missed you. Ooh, good question. Oh, well, CS, you asked some questions. Let me see if there's anybody else. Let's see. Okay. Look. I'm just looking to see. Let's see. Ask your new questions. Okay. I'm looking for an accountant and a bookkeeper. She's like, oh, you're looking. I'm trying to think. I don't really have recommendations like for firms. Maybe I'll start to do that. Okay. This is a good question. Okay. Thank you, Akeisha. Akeisha's posting some of your questions. Let me post it here. This is from Foloke. My fellow Nigerian sister. Okay. This is the 4145 mark. 4145 mark. Foloke says, can you share the best practices for your email list health in light of the recent email deliverability changes implemented? As someone with a massive list, how do you suggest building? Well, the best ways to build a list is to give something away in exchange, right? Like, hey, here, do you want my free checklist? Like a checklist of like, I don't know, like how to check for breast cancer. It's a free checklist. Somebody puts in their name and their email, you give them the checklist. So collect the email. Well, one, you have to have what's called a CRM, a customer. What is CRM stand for? CRM. I can't remember. It's called Customer Relations Management. CRM. Child. What does it mean? Customer Relations Management system. Right? So you're going to want to find a CRM. So basically, it's an email system. So like a Mad Mimi, we don't want that. So some of the best one, the one we use is Keep. But there's also, what is it called? There's Constant Contact. Keep is the one we use. There's another one called L with the A. CRM system. Let me see. Let me type at the top. Forget what it's called. Something. So it's Keep. Okay. Zendesk is one that I've heard people use. What else? Active Campaign. That's another one. So I've heard good things about Zendesk. I heard decent things about Active Campaign. We use Keep. So you're going to look for a CRM system, because you're not just collecting emails to your Gmail. No, there has to be a system that's going to house the emails for you. If you're going to be emailing people regularly, you're going to give them something. Like for us, we collect emails a myriad of ways. One, we collect them via our challenges. Hey, you want to take this free challenge? Give me your email. Hey, you want to know your financial wholeness score via a quiz? We use this tool called Outgrow.us. You take the quiz, a financial wholeness, before you get your financial wholeness score. What? Give me your email. So when my book came out, Get Good with Money, this is one of the best ways. We collect over 100,000 emails with this. Because why? Inside the book, I say, hey, read, as you're reading the book, I say, you want the toolkit? It's free. So you go to getgoodwithmoney.com, click the button toolkit, and guess what? Give me your email. Same thing with Made Whole, the workbook version. You want the toolkit for the workbook? You go to madewholeworkbook.com, give me your email. Anytime you can give people stuff in exchange for their contact information on a chosen CRM, right? So you don't want them to just be Gmailing you, And so that's one. And here's why it's important to choose a CRM, a good one. Like I said, Keep, Active Campaign, Zendesk, because they will be up to date for with all of the changes, because they have to be up to code. So if the federal government, the state government, whoever changes the rules, they're going to know, right? That's one. And with a massive list, I used to not want to do this. Like if I never cleaned out my list, it would be probably 2 million people. I think our list is like 300, 400,000, but it's 300, 400,000 people that have opened our emails in the last 3 months. If you have not opened an email in the last few months, we kick you off the list. Now we keep your email, like we have like a spreadsheet that we keep all old emails, because you could still feed them into Facebook, so you can run ads to them and things like that. But we kick you off the list because sending emails to people who don't open them weakens your sendability. Does that make sense? And so one, start to build your list. Like if you're doing speaking engagements from the stage, hey, would you like a copy of my, my speaking in, PowerPoint or whatever? Go to PowerPoint.com. They have to put their email in. Does that make sense? You're always collecting emails. And now for us, we collect emails and phone numbers. We use Superphone to collect phone numbers because many of you as mentees, you're here because you got the text saying, come on over here. Right. Yeah. What is our text message thing? I keep saying, what do we say? I can't remember what our text, like, how does somebody join the text? Do we have? Oh, so every single post in the mentee group always reminds you to sign up for text messaging. So it allows us to communicate with you directly. And here's why. Here's what you have to own: access to your audience. I'm going to say it again. It is so important that you have to own access to your audience. Why is that important? Because at any moment, Facebook, any of these places, these social media places can say, you thought you tried it. The rules have changed. So some of the ways that we own access to our audience is 1, email. 2, text message. 3, we have other groups. Patreon is a group off of regular social media. When I post on Patreon, y'all gonna see it. If I post on Facebook, you won't, because Facebook has changed the rules so many times, nobody sees stuff anymore, right? So private groups, we also use a group called, Mighty Networks. That's another community group that you could build community. There's another one called Circle that I've been hearing good things about. Anyway, so off social media communities, and then last, social media, email, text messages, offline, off social media communities, and then social media. So you want to have access to your audience. And so I'm constantly trying to build up these 3 so we don't have to depend so heavily on social media. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. Let's see. What time is it? All right, we got about 10 more minutes because your girl literally is fighting jet lag. All right, so let me see what other question. You guys have some good questions. These are really good questions. Okay. Okay, let me see. Social media, I know I need to be. Should I start with the website and have my product? Okay, well, I'm going to try to answer people who haven't been. I don't know. So I know Yasmin, I see you're asking that question about tracking a cash-based business while leaving the U. I have no idea. How do I manage a cash-based? You have to be careful about cash-based businesses in Africa while leaving the US and avoid that. I have no idea. Sorry. I'm thinking of cameras. How do you manage a cash-based business? Yes. I don't know. Sorry. Yasmin, I'm not really sure of the question, but basically, how do you to keep employees from stealing from you? Is that what you're asking? Let's see. Let me see. I'm trying to get people who I haven't answered. Okay, so Michelle. Yes, I don't know. So here's the thing. I'm gonna try to answer this to the best of my possibility. or Yasmineth, since you asked that question a couple times. All right. Paste. And then, because it speaks to, so that is 49.55. 49.55. Yeah, there's a lot of questions tonight. 49.55. Okay, she said, how to track and manage a cash-based business in Africa while leaving it in the living. I'm gonna show you living in the U.S. and avoid theft. I think cameras, but what else? Here's the thing: you are not gonna avoid theft in a cash-based business. You can only minimize them. That's like Target saying. I mean, Target is not a cash-based business; they have theft. Walmart struggles with theft. Anytime people are handling money in that way, like I'm talking about not just one person. You know, if you have a series of people, there's likely going to be some theft. So how are you minimizing? You know, and so one, it starts with the hiring, trying your best to hire people with good integrity. You have to learn as a leader to get pretty good at knowing people. You know, it took me a while to be like, oh, this is, you know, just because I like someone doesn't mean that they're trustworthy. So you're going to have to get good at like really learning how to hire trustworthy people. That's one. Certainly, yes, cameras are going to be helpful, but also too, having checks and balances in place. Like, is there a system where they can report any sales every hour? So, you know, the numbers are not numbering. You're like, wait, what was going on here? Also, too, if there's a certain amount of money that you make every day on average, like, you know, you should know kind of what your numbers are. Like, this seems really light. Where's the money? And also, too, just like, yeah, like that's what I would say is hiring well. Yes, certainly cameras, knowing your numbers so you know like how much money you should have, and having some check-in system where they know that you're constantly checking. Because people will get tempted if they think like it's not a matter of I trust you so much, I'm never gonna. No, it should be regular check-ins because people know, well, dang, she's constantly checking on the money that's here. You know, and then maybe you have like if you're not living in the United States and this business is in Africa, wherever, if you're not there, then you need to have someone who's going to be there checking in, someone that you could trust implicitly. Okay. 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 I hope that answers as best as possible. That's not really something, that's not my specialty. Let's see. Yeah, because sometimes I'm like, Also, too, here's the thing. She said, Lee Rhonda said, thank you for acknowledging. I didn't know the answer. Yeah, because I've never had a cash-based business. That's actually a really good question. Here's the thing, too. I want you to be okay, you as mentees, of knowing that one person is not the oracle. That if you have a very specific question, the best thing to do is to seek out someone who is doing that very thing. So if I was, Yasmineth, you don't have to find someone who lives in Africa, but cash-based business in the United States. You don't have to find someone who has a cash-based business, period. And just say, how do you manage theft? Like there are so many communities of like businesses. Think about a cash-based business that might be similar to yours. Maybe it's a pizza, like business. Maybe it's if it was me, like my friend Cabral is really good at like talking and up with other business owners. He owns an eyeglass store, and there's a strip where all these other businesses are. He knows everybody on that strip. You have to start making friends with other people in business. So that way you can say, oh, you have a similar underlying like component to your business that's similar to mine where I'm having trouble. Can I talk to you about that? So like, I am not going to be the oracle, but I bet you this, if I had a cash-based business, I would have a ton of cash-based business friends. That's going to be able to say, because I'm telling you right now, the answer that I gave you is limited because I've never done that. But someone's going to be like, Tiffany, the best way is going to be this. You see what I mean? It's really important that mentorship is really important, but all peership is also very important, Yes. Okay, let me see. Okay, so Samara, I don't think we answered your question, Samara, so we're going to do you next. Okay. Paste with that formatting. What time is that? We're at the 54:30 mark. 54:30. 54:30 mark. How do you sell digital products? I'm using Etsy, but want to use something else. Well, Shopify, girl. Shopify is the best place to sell digital products, honestly. Etsy is not bad either. If you want to sell a digital course, we use Thinkific, but there's Teachable, there's Kajabi. They're all pretty much the same, honestly. Um, and so, but digital, from what I understand, like we just did a digital product push. We did these dollar downloads at the beginning of the year and made like $11,000 from dollar downloads. That means, 11,000 sales. Well, some people bought like a lot of people bought the bulk, which was like $4. But I share all that to say Shopify. It wasn't, like our intern turned part-time employee did the work of like uploading the stuff to there, but Shopify, if you want to do digital merch or even just physical merch too. Okay. 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 Let me see. Okay, Latoya. This is a really good question, Latoya. I'm gonna answer this question. And then maybe we'll do like one more. What time is it? Yeah. Latoya. We'll see how long it takes me to answer this question. We either do one more after this or this will be the last one. We'll see. Time frame is 56:10. 56:10. 56:10. Okay. Latoya, what words of wisdom and encouragement do you have for those who are just getting started, especially when others are already in the space, seem to be dominating? Well, one, if I'm telling you, if I'm being honest, Latoya, I still be looking left and right. I try not to. I'm like, oh my God, they doing better than me. Oh my God, I need to step my game up. You think I don't think that? Of course I do. I'm human. And you know what I find out? People are not doing as well as they pretend, child. People are not doing as well as they pretend. So they might be dominating, meaning taking up a lot of space, but that doesn't mean that that they're even making a lot of income. That's one thing I learned, like a mastermind that I was part of, because some of these people had literally over 10 million folks like listening, 5 million, 6 million, 7 million, and they weren't making as much as I thought. Not that they were making no money, but not nearly as much as I thought, like a 10 million, a 5 million, 6 million following that would generate. So one, that don't be fooled by the glitz and the glamour, honey. Right. And that the key is, Latoya, is to focus on the underlying business. Not enough people, it's like everyone's trying to build a big social media following. That's not a business. What is the underlying business? The social media following is the funnel to get people to the underlying business. Oh, if I can just get 5,000 people following 10,000, so what? Now you have 10,000 people following you. To what? To what end? Like, the key is to face your front. I'm Nigerian. We have the same. Face your front. Face your front and work on a strong, fundamental underlying business. I sell t-shirts to women who have kids. I don't know. You have to make up whatever that is, right? And so, that is the underlying business. The t-shirts are in good condition. I got my pricing down great. I've got a bookkeeper. I have my accountant. My sister helps me part-time. This is underlying business stuff. Talking about that's the fundamentals are really strong. And maybe you sell 20 t-shirts a month. You're like, oh, but they're not selling anything. I promise you. They got 10,000 people just watching their stuff, but they don't have good underlying business, because even if someone is super huge, let's just say you're somebody really big and Target says, fine, I want to work with you. I need 20,000 SKUs. Wait, what? Huh. Most of those people crash and burn because they don't have this underlying business. So you face your front, you build your underlying business, and slowly but surely, honestly, I like slow growth because it allows you to pivot and learn and adjust. Does that make sense? Even though sometimes I can get distracted left and right too, but then I remind myself right here in this room, in my house, face your front, Tiffany, and focus on strong underlying business, because I have a much smaller following than some of these same people in my arena. But then when I really compare numbers, we make much more. You want to know why? Because for the last 15 years, we have really focused on underlying business. I'm talking about team building. I'm talking about good product and service. I'm talking about good customer support. These are underlying business principles a lot of people are not navigating. I'm talking about, like the fundamentals, like bookkeeping. My financial team is strong and tight. I'm talking about leadership. Like, how do I make sure that the people that are on the team are happy? You know, people make all this money and then you hear later that their whole team hates them. Everybody's leaving and everything's so chaotic. Not here. You don't hear about that here at the Budgetnista because we focus on the strong business fundamentals. So it's not as sexy. It doesn't move as fast. It might not be as quote unquote big on the outside as some other people. I know y'all see me as big, but in comparison to some of my peers, I'm not. But we have strong underlying business. That's why 15 years still here. 15 years later, we're going to still be here even then. Okay. And so, like, you do that, you will still be here. And I promise you, nothing ever is nearly as big or as good as you think. Sometimes I'm shocked when I go into rooms. I'm like, wait, what? I thought y'all was making like 10, 20 million, 2 million. Not that 2 million is a little bit of money, but I thought, oh, that's why you face your front, you know, because you don't know what people have going on. And sometimes people will I have seen people make 10 million in 1 year and go on the next. Not me though. We still here, right? Because they didn't have strong underlying business principles. You focus on that. You know, we build good community over here. That's an underlying business principle for us. That's why we're still here. 2023 was a rough year. A lot of people closed their business in 2023. We had a rough year, 2023. We're still here because of the underlying business. Okay. All right. I think that's a good thing to end it on. What do y'all think? Was this helpful? We did a lot of questions. We say, look, 1, 2, 3, girl, like 15. So what we're gonna do is you'll be able to watch this recording, all of the questions. I timestamp them. And so, you know, when this video goes live, you'll be able to, you know, watch and jump to the question that you want answered. You know, we'll do more BAQAs, not BAQAs, I'm sorry. Think about my podcast. We'll do more mentee Q&A. We have some changes coming up. Make sure every single post in Patreon where our mentorship is, every single post you have the ability to sign up for text messages. Sign up for text messages. I cannot repeat that enough. Because sometimes it's literally only mentees get those text messages. Literally, it'll say, here's the link to join us. Because you might not, you know, because if I post something in Patreon, they're going to send you an email. You might not see the email, but you're going to see that text message. If you don't do nothing, then sign up for text message. If you think that this program is so great, bring people on over. Tell them, come over to mymentortiffany.com. That's mymentortiffany.com. Bring them on over. Because right now it's $20 a month, but if I'm being honest, it's going up. So they want to lock themselves in or whatever. You know, come on in. What else? If you are paying monthly but want to pay for the year, you get like 15 or 10% off. You know, you can go ahead and do that. You can upgrade. And if you don't have the Patreon app, go ahead and get the Patreon app. So that way the app is directly on your phone. So you can join us here more easily. So, oh, and one last thing. Take a quick screenshot, and smile. Because you're going to post on social. You're going to say, my mentor, Tiffany, is amazing. This is what I would do. Here's a little, if it was me. So I have over 600,000 followers on IG. If it was me, because I would want to get reposted by me. So I would take my picture and say, oh my goodness, my business, floral, you know, Imani's Floral House in Washington, D.C. is so grateful that my mentor, Tiffany, was so awesome tonight. Because when I repost, like, okay, all of a sudden your business just got in front of however many people be watching my stories. Does that make sense? Okay. So we're going to take some pictures. Don't take pictures with my mouth open because I'm not going to repost it. If the picture's not cute, we're not doing it. But like this. Okay. My mentor. Right? So take a picture. I would tag my business if I was you. Make sure mymentortiffany.com. Yeah, like when you repost, when I repost it, I'm gonna put the link anyway. But like I would tag my business and be like, oh, my business is so happy I get mentored by Tiffany. Child. Because when I repost it, the girls are gonna be like, oh, what floral business in DC? I'm in DC. Does that make sense? And it helps you. But do you see what I'm doing? So y'all know I do forest trees in business. So we'll end on this. What I mean by forest trees is that forest meaning like, let's zoom out and see the bigger picture. Trees meaning like, let's get in and say, what is Tiffany actually doing? So right now I am showing you in real time what marketing looks like. I am saying, like, I'm really pulling back the curtain and saying, hey, repost me, take a screenshot, my mentor Tiffany repost me doing that. Matter of fact, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put a banner up here. Where's my mentor? There it is. Show. Look at that. See that banner? Become a mentor here, my mentor Tiffany, right? Repost, like take a screenshot, sharing your stories, make sure you tag me. But like I said, I am showing you like forest trees. Zoom in, tag your business, say something about it. So when I reshare your stories to my stories, which we get thousands of views, you get free marketing. But I get to have social proof to say, look at all these people that said they're my mentees. So you see that? You see how that works? But that is real life marketing. Like I'm showing you like I get the benefit of being like, wow, look at all the people. They love me. They love me. They love me. Love me. Become a mentee. Right. But then you get like, okay, share my business and her stories, girl. Okay. So like I said, if the picture isn't cute, I'm not reposting it. I'm gonna give you some cute pictures. Ha! Screenshot. 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 Yes. All right, y'all. Good night. Have a good night. Bye.